So Donald Trump was on Fox and Friends Friday, October 18th, 2024, and he talked about a policy platform in a second Trump administration that is talked about in Project 2025. Here's what he had to say.
Anything to do with school choice, but also separate from school choice, we're going to take the Department of Education, close it. I'm going to close it. We'll have one person, could be you if you decide to retire.
Okay, Mr. President, here's what bothers me about that. So let's say you have a liberal city, let's say it's Los Angeles, San Diego, and they just decide we're going to get rid of that history. We got new history. This is America built off the backs of slaves on stolen land. And that curriculum comes in.
Then we don't send them money. We would save half of our budget.
Okay.
Hold on. Donald Trump said we won't send them money if they teach that this country was built on the backs of slaves. Hold on. He couldn't have said that. All these black men talking about voting for Donald Trump. All these rappers talking about voting for Donald Trump. Wait a second. He couldn't have said that. Let's play that again. This is from Fox and Friends. Whose friend are they?
Anything to do with school choice, but also separate from school choice, we're going to take the Department of Education, close it. I'm going to close it. We'll have one person, could be you if you decide to retire.
Okay, Mr. President, here's what bothers me about that. So let's say you have a liberal city, let's say it's Los Angeles, San Diego, and they just decide we're going to get rid of that history. We got new history. This is America built off the backs of slaves on stolen land. And that curriculum comes in.
Then we don't send them money. We would save half of our budget.
Okay. He said we don't send the money. Brian Kilmeade said, what happens if they get rid of history and start teaching that the country was built on the backs of slaves on stolen land? That's called history. That's what happened. That's for real. Now, Common Dreams has an article about this. And if we take a look at this here, this piece from Common Dreams came out Friday, October 18th, 2024. And it talks about Trump's appearance on Fox and Friends. He's not kidding. Advocates warn as Trump threatens to defund schools for teaching U.S. history. Now, the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Education is in Chapter 11 of Project 2025 from the Heritage Foundation. The Republican presidential nominee is threatening funding if teachers don't teach what he wants, said one teachers union leader. That's indoctrination and it's dangerous. So Donald Trump said, we're going to take the Department of Education, we're going to close it, explaining that each state would govern educational policy without federal input. Now, this is a promise of the right-wing policy agenda, Project 2025, that was co-authored by hundreds of former Trump administration staffers. Now, the CNN puts the count at least 140 former staffers and people who worked in the Trump administration. Okay, now if we continue, the American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations, AFL-CIO, warned he's not kidding, pointing to Project 2025, which calls to reduce the role of the federal government to, quote, that of a statistics gathering agency that disseminates information to the states. Quote, it's in his Project 2025 plan. Trump wants to defund schools, said the labor union. There's also an article from thegrio.com. Trump threatens to defund schools that teach about slavery. In an appearance on Fox News, Donald Trump said he would shut down the Department of Education and punish schools that teach that America was built on the backs of slaves. So what's wrong with teaching the truth? What are you afraid of? Why are you trying to hide this history? Now, this also goes along with the attack on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. From the article from the Grio, it says Trump's threat to withhold funding from schools that taught about slavery being central to American history was part of a larger pitch he made during the segment about closing down the U.S. Department of Education. The former president's promise matches up with one of the major policy proposals presented in Project 2025, a policy document Trump has repeatedly denied having any knowledge of or connection to, despite former Trump officials being key leaders of the Project 2025 initiative. So read the rest of this article. Understand that Trump's strategy to withhold money from schools teaching about slavery also reflects larger attacks on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that the former president has endorsed, and his view that DEI is anti-racism. Now, keep in mind, it was Donald Trump who, in September of 2020, wrote an executive order that banned the use of critical race theory when it came to training for federal employees. And this kicked off the whole attack against critical race theory. The Department of Education is responsible for more than 50 million students in 18,200 school districts nationwide. This is another reason why elections have consequences, and Donald Trump and Trumpism have to be defeated at the ballot box. Remember, right now is corrects wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. I'm Michael Imhotep, historian and national political commentator. Visit my website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Follow me on social media, The African History Network on Facebook, Michael Imhotep on YouTube, as well as Michael Imhotep on Instagram, and sign up for my online history classes. Remember, right now is corrects wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. We'll talk to you next time. Peace. For everything. Visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. You can register for the online history classes that I teach. We deal with thousands of years of history. I teach 2 online history classes, Saturdays 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays is Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. And then on Sundays, Black resistance movements, from Christopher Columbus to the Haitian Revolution and the Black Power movement, 1492 to 1968. So we have classes coming up this weekend. Classes on sale, $80. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch it any time. We have a bundle pack of courses. You can register for both classes also. I do a PowerPoint presentation. We have book references, articles, video clips. Even after the course is over with, you still have access to the full class. You can go back and watch it anytime. And then Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, understanding transatlantic slave trade. That meets this weekend also. You can we have the course outline here that you can download as well. So it gives you a lesson plan for each class session. There's about 100 articles that we reference. The first class is about 200 slides, 15 books that we reference. You don't have to buy any of the books to follow along in class. Click right here to download the lesson plan also, okay? I show you it's a very visual class, so I show you the excerpts of the books right on the screen, all right? Okay, so the content is PG-13. You can use this with your children as well. I don't do a lot of cursing. It's not overly vulgar or anything like that. It's nothing like that, okay?